Hey guys, this is AJ with ajhomes.com, and I'm going to be walking you through all this gear that I have on the desk and how to actually set up and install a full multi-camera system. Now again, this is going to be scaled down because I'm actually going to be using this in my home on my desk for my client work, YouTube videos, gaming, live streaming, and a bunch of other stuff. But pretty much replace the cameras and replace the environment. And this is the same type of setup that I actually install for churches. So let's go through all the gear that we got. All right. So the first thing that I have obviously my ATEM Television Studio HD. This is the newer version. It allows 8 video inputs, whether it be cameras, Blu-ray DVD players, PlayStations, gaming consoles, whatever. So in my example, I'm actually going to be using, in my setup, I'm actually going to be using 2 stationary cameras with an optional additional camera, which is the one that I'm using right now, my Nikon D5300. I'm also going to be using 2 PlayStation 4s, a PlayStation 3, 2 inputs from my video editing computer, my streaming computer, my drone, as well as the ability to have another connection of any type that I desire. So with that, I have the ATEM has 4 HDMI ins and 4 SDI ins. So obviously I don't have SDI for everything, and that's where I'm going to use these mini converters, the Blackmagic HDMI to SDI. I have 2 of these because I'm going to use my computer monitor output from my video editing computer, which is a GeForce 1070 that has 5 outputs. No, actually it has 6 outputs, I believe. So 2 of them are going to go to my regular monitors, and then I'm going to duplicate monitors 1 and 2 as inputs 1 and 2 on the ATEM. So you'll be able to see and switch for each monitor separately inside of the video mixer. And then for my other connections, I have my streaming PC, which is right there, which is the Node 202. I have another video, and I'll link up here on building that. That is a mini Ryzen 3 APU with I think it's an Elgato HD60 in there right now, but also I swap out with a Blackmagic Intensity Pro 4K inside of there. And that handles all my live streaming and other things like that. And to do that, I actually do the opposite. I have an SDI to HDMI. So coming out of the ATEM, you have the program out, which is what you're going to see mixing of all the cameras, but it's SDI only. So I have one of these that is going out. When I have the Blackmagic in here, I actually come directly out through SDI cables, which are over there, from the back of here, directly into my Blackmagic Intensity Pro. So the output, program output, is actually right here. And then I also have an auxiliary out, which is right here. So when I'm live streaming my gaming, I actually come SDI out, and then I connect that to one of these, and then I do HDMI out into my 32-inch screen monitor so that I can see what I'm actually looking at without anything. So one output goes to the streaming PC, the other auxiliary out, this also SDI, goes to my secondary screen just for me to see like gameplay or something like that. Now all of these are powered by micro USB, and I got the cheaper one so it doesn't come with a power cable. Instead I have this Anker multi USB charger that I bought a while ago. I used these to charge all my devices, but instead I have this under my desk, and this is gonna power all of these. Now, one of the downsides with the Blackmagic ATEM all of the inputs have to be the exact same thing. So that's kind of a problem. So with my DSLR as well as my Sony 4K camcorder here, obviously I can't output, I can always downgrade this to the quality I want, but my thought is I'm gonna go 4K from here, which will give me such a better picture, and then have it scaled down and you'll still have good quality. But that's the problem with everything that I have here. So I have the Blackmagic mini converter up down cross HD. So I got a bunch of dip switches here, as well as on the back. It will take any HD signal in, whether it be HDMI in or SDI in, and it will convert it out to whatever I have this set. So right now I'm running, my ATEM is going to be running at 1080p, 5994 frame rate. So I take in whatever signal here, and then it converts it out to the same signal that's going to be available here. So my DSLR that I'm using right now can't outputs in 1080p, but it's not at the right frame rate. I plug it in here, pushes out the right frame rate, so the ATEM can handle it, as well as the Sony 4K. So that's what handles with this. And this is a good tool to have just in case you work with anything. I used to have I still have a GoPro Hero 5, but for whatever reason, no matter what, even with this, it fluctuates its frame rate. So it's a nightmare to try and get it configured with this. So I just got one of these. I might want to even invest in getting another one of these so that I can have my DSLR or my camcorder hooked up to that. All right, so here's my desk, and as you can see, it is a mess, and I'm trying to get stuff a little bit more organized here. So there's my PlayStation 4, and you can't see it, but over there I have another PlayStation 3 and another PlayStation 4, my original one over there. Because of the awesome security and the HDMI handshake, as well as the Blackmagic, it does not take kindly to input from video consoles, at least the PlayStation's ones. I don't have an Xbox, so I can't really test that out. But the workaround of that is with something as simple as this, if I can get it in focus. It's just an HDMI splitter, and for whatever reason it gets rid of the handshake and it goes into the Blackmagic ATEM perfectly fine. So instead of having multiple ones of these, this helps with multiple purposes. Right here, there on the ground is actually my real streaming PC, but the other one is a mini one that I use for I'm going to other churches or going to environments that I need to live stream, and I don't want to take that whole system. So this HDMI helps with multiple things. So what I can do is, especially when I'm streaming games and stuff like that, I will come in on my line in and split this out. One will go directly to the will go directly to the ATEM, but especially if I'm gaming, I will have another one. This is a 1x4, one input, four outputs. I'll have the other output going to like another screen if I wanted to, which is what I have this going for sometimes. I also have it going to another streaming machine. So when I'm building streaming PCs for other churches or other clients, I'll actually test it by streaming it just to see what it can handle. So I have my game stuff coming in. One output goes to my streaming one, another one goes to my mini streaming, and then I have two more inputs for what other type of streaming machines that I'm testing. So that's what that is. Now again, it's only one input. So how do I solve that? I have this little 3-in-1, 3 inputs, 1 output switcher. So I'll have PlayStation 4 number 1, PlayStation 4 number 2, and PlayStation 3 plugged in here. I just switch through here. So that comes out, and I go over here to the input right there, and that's it. So now I can have all my consoles going in, and then the splitter will get rid of the handshake, and I just do my output into my ATEM, and that's it. I mean, granted, that's a lot, but the converter and getting rid of the handshake and all that other stuff will cost way more than this. This combined was probably about $25 compared to, you're looking at 100 plus for a more quote unquote professional way of handling that. All right, so first thing we get is our ATEM here, and I'm just gonna place this right here, but I want to have it pretty accessible, and I already got some of the cables already established here. So first I have my USB connection here, and that's how I can do firmware updates and everything on here. Just plug that in there, and I want to try and get my cables a little bit better organized so that they're not all over the place. It communicates with everything over the network, so I got an extra Cat6 cable here. Plug that up into my network. All right, the next output, let's do our HDMI ins. So I have duplicate output from my computer for monitor 1. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Then monitor 2, duplication right there. So this is going to be my duplicate output number 2 from my streaming PC that's on the floor right here. So I'm plugging that into HDMI in number 3. Let me look that up under here. So from here, what we're going to use is the HDMI, the SDI to HDMI. So I'm going to come out of the ATEM with this, and this is going to be my program out. And then I have an HDMI here, which is going to plug into the capture card on the back of my computer. Got that screwed in. Now I'm going to hook this up to the bottom here with another HDMI cable, which is going into my capture card. Next thing I want to set up is my multi-view, which is a TV that's connected, or a monitor, whatever, that's connected directly to the ATEM, so you can see all of the inputs at the same time. So I have a 32-inch screen Vizio TV that I'm going to use, that I can use actually as a monitor as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. So we got this extra cable here. We're just going to go into HDMI 1 on the back of the TV. And then we're going to do the multi-view output on the back of the ATEM. Now the next thing that we get is input number 4, HDMI input number 4 is going to be for the PlayStation, which is this whole setup that we got here. So I need another HDMI cable. Alright, so I got 3 cables, 2 over here, over there. So let's do this. So I need to hook up the PlayStation first. Well, the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 2. And I don't have enough space right now, so let me scoot this stuff over here. I have this super long HDMI cable. So and the PlayStation 4 is right here. Well, you can't see me, it's over here. So I'm gonna hook this one up. Is hook up the HDMI splitter, which gets rid of the handshake. So we'll just put that on input right there. That one needs power as well. Alright, so far we have all of our HDMIs are connected. So we have pretty much the two monitors here connected, the streaming PC output is here, and all three of the PlayStations are connected into the system. So now we have to do the SDIs, and we got only two cameras that we're going to hook up. So one camera is actually going to go right here. I think that's going to be my Canon, and then the other one is going to be over here, which will be a straight on shot. First thing, I already got my camera where I want it to be, so let me get my power cable here, plug that in. And again, I mean, I'm using the DSLR right now to record this, but with the versions of DSLRs that I'm actually using, they don't support an adapter to where I can keep it constantly powered the entire time. So that's why I kind of use camcorders. And again, I struggled with actually deciding on that, because even the 4K camcorder, I was really thinking about getting a Panasonic Lumix for that, but I just thought that I can, like I said, the model that I needed, it was a little out of the price range for right now. So I decided not to go with that. And I'm just realizing that the HDMI cable that I got for my camcorder is not right. It's not micro, it's a mini. Alright, so I got one of these, if I can get it in focus. So this will connect to a regular HDMI here. So that's how I'm connecting this camcorder here. So there's my HDMI there. I just go ahead and connect that. So we got that set up. And let me go ahead and put that on my tripod over here. Alright. And I think I did all that and left the adapter over here. Alright, so we got the HDMI to SDI here. So let's go ahead and connect the HDMI. And then we got the adapter here. That connects like that. I'm gonna run this behind here. And then we have our SDI. So I got that one set up right now, and then this is the auxiliary out monitor that I'm going to be using. So when I'm playing games, this is the one that I see just the direct output from my PlayStation here, and I need a connection for that, as well as my other camera is going to go over here. Ideally I wanted to put behind there, but I don't have a tripod to go there right now. So I need two long runs, actually 3 long runs over here. Because my drone input is actually going to go right here, and this is the one that I connect to a HDMI extender over Cat6, and I run that outside when I'm flying. That's how I connect to everything in here. So I'm just running this cable behind everything, and like I said, this is going to connect to an HDMI to SDI adapter. And I don't need all this extra, so let's go ahead and connect this here. And I'm going to have this wound up because everything is going to go right behind this monitor for right now. Well, I'll just set it right here for right now. Alright, now we already got the output for my streaming, and this is going to be the output SDI to HDMI that's going to go for my secondary screen. So that is where I have this other HDMI cable, or SDI cable, where it is. Oh, right here on the floor. So this is going to connect to the aux output on the back of here. I'm going to let this sit behind this monitor here. And actually, let me zip tie this down because I know I don't need this much cable. Alright, so the aux out is done. Oh, we have the other converter that's going to be for my 4K camera. Let's clear a little bit of room here. And this is the cable I'm going to use. Alright, so now this one is a little bit different because it requires a different set of power than USB, so I actually have a plug for this. And I think, yeah, this is the plug for this converter here. So we got that straight. And we are going HDMI in and SDI out. So what I'm going to do is I have this little coupler here that I'm going to use to connect these SDI cables here, just in case I don't have a long enough run. And actually, I think only one will do, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and get that set up. This is going into SDI number 2. Locked it into place. And looking at it, yes, I will need this other cable. So just hook the see coupler there and get my cable number 2 here. And let's run this all behind here. So for right now, I have the power on the floor, not behind the desk. That's going to be temporary. Let's plug that in. And of course it turned on. I don't need it to turn on. Let's go ahead and plug that up. I'm going to use my Gobi here for the time being, just to set this up. And honestly, until I get my other adapter that's coming in the mail in the next couple of days, I normally use this to hold my Rode video mic, and I set that on the desk where I'm at. But for right now, this is what I'm going to use. So with this converter that I have here for the camcorder, the best thing about this is it's already set for what I need. So I have this extra cable, so the DSLR that I'm on right now, I could simply just hook this cable up into that adapter and it should work no matter what's coming out. I mean, that's what it's advertised as. So I'm going to have this cable on standby because I can also connect my tablet. I have a old NVIDIA Shield tablet that I can use here as well. So I'll just keep that close by. And let's see. Oh, I need my sound. Alright, so let's plug this into the back of the ATEM, the XLRs. That's channel 1, channel 2, and then that's going to go into main left out, right out. And for right now, I use this for the headphones, I actually let that go directly into the line in on my computer so that I can use my speakers to actually hear what's going on. So I'm doing a lot better now that I've got this stuff organized. I have a lot more cables left over compared to what I originally had. All right, so I think we're all set up. So let's go ahead and prep. Here, I'm gonna turn the computer, my streaming PC on, and I have camera number 1 on, camera number 2 on, and the PlayStation is on. All right, so and I already had this all set up with my Google Home, like I said. So we just simply go, okay, Google, turn on my video gear.
Okay, turning the video gear on.
And let's look over here at the screen. So as you can see, I have all of my inputs here. All right. So let's go through the inputs. We have monitor number 1, monitor number 2 for my main system, streaming PC, which it looks like it's the same, but that's actually OBS here. So that's getting the feed from the ATEM and it's feeding into the streaming PC here, so you can see that. We have the PlayStation that's set up. Ignore that. That is, you can actually have media plugged into this. That's the Canon, which is over here, which is right there. The back of me, right here, that's it says Nikon, but this is my Sony one, the 4K one. And then the blank one is the drone. So let's see if we can get all the inputs set up. Like I said, this is my NVIDIA Shield here. And as you can hear, that's the sound coming from the PlayStation through the ATEM and to the line out on my PC, and that's where the sound is coming from there. All right, and you see my tablet. So I have all the inputs there. So, and I still have one more SDI in if I wanted to use that for another input. So that's my whole setup of going from absolutely nothing to a full multi-camera, multi-input system that can be used for recording, YouTube videos, streaming, gaming, all that fun stuff. And my Sony just turned off for some odd reason. All right, so I hope that really helped, guys. If you like this type of content, I greatly appreciate a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and hit me up in the comments and see if there's any other things that you'd like to see with this type of setup. And like I said, this is the scaled down version of what I normally do for churches when I'm helping them set up. So hopefully this will give you some ideas and some help if you're kind of like in the same situation of wanting to set up a multi-camera video switcher system at your church or even at home. So this is AJ with ajhomes.com. We'll catch you on the next video. So after dabbling with the whole setup and I was playing around, found out the camera that I'm on right now, the Sony 4K camera that I have right now, actually is outputting at the right frame rate. So when I plug this into my mini converter HDMI to SDI, it went perfectly fine. So that freed up my up-down cross converter. So now, as you can see, I now have full 3 cameras. So this is the Sony, this is the Canon that's right there, and this is my DSLR that's right behind me. So yay. So if I can get it focused, so I pretty much have a full three camera system, which I was not expecting, but I am super excited about that because I can go to right here. So this is the continuation. As you can see, here's my full setup. Still got everything here. I have my Rode video mic that's plugged in on top of the Sony right now. Let me cut back over to the right camera. So the Rode is standing right on top of here. Let me push it down so you can see right there. So that's actually, later on, it's actually going to be hooked up to the sound right now. So I'm pleasantly surprised the fact that got this other camera. It actually allowed me to actually have another camera, my DSLR plugged in as well too. So that's cool. So now if I can only get my GoPro to work with all this, I have a 4 camera system and I need to have like an overhead. So if I'm playing or if I have doing a build or something like that, that would be cool. So anyway, that was an extra bonus to the video. So again, this is AJ. If you like the content, I really appreciate a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Catch you later.